We have 3 staggering games to cover in today's Derby Day Super Sunday. Of course, we're going to start with Arsenal against Tottenham. We've got to discuss the Milan derby and the result that has just finished. The game literally, final whistle, and I press record. Elche against Real Madrid. But like I said, we start in England in the earlier game. Obviously, listen, big up to Aston Villa, unlucky Leeds. Listen, it's a cold world. Morgan Rogers, he got the brace to win the game. But again, we're not here to discuss that. Apologies to the Villa fans. However, at the top of the table, we have Arsenal against Tottenham. Now, this game, of course, it was, again, North London derby. You kind of ignore the form beforehand, ignore everything. There's so much can change in this game. So that is why, initially, in my predictions, I said Arsenal will win, Tottenham will score, but I thought it would be a much closer game than what it ended up being. Because, listen, I mean, we can start even from before the game, right? We spoke, I think, well, not on here. I wasn't doing YouTube back then. But on TikTok, I was speaking about how that Arsenal tifo against PSG, most embarrassing tifo I think I've ever seen. They learned their lessons, and today they set the tone, they set the tempo with a tifo that was unveiled before, North London Forever, and they had Sol Campbell on the tifo. I said, hey, normally, obviously, Arsenal, they do the little, like, you're a little bros thing, you don't really, like, engage in the back and forth, right? It's like the classy thing to do or whatever. They put Sol Campbell, and Spurs were shell-shocked. I'm talking about Vicario picking up the ball after 2 minutes. Time wasting. I said, celebrating a draw? Really? Wow. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Spurs did not register a single shot in the first half. Not on target, a shot of any variety. In a derby, that is disgraceful. Now, obviously, Arsenal were going to have the possession. That is, no shock to anybody, especially with how bad Spurs are. They tried a back five thing. Trossard, in the end, was the first to get on the score sheet after a lovely scoop from Mikel Merino. Again, this guy, I don't know how to interpret or understand Mikel Merino, bro. Like, if I say he ain't that cold, he'll randomly do something incredible, and I'm like, oh, you know what, fairs. Just like the little back heel assist he done against Brighton, I believe it was. So, yeah, listen, fair play. Trossard makes it 1-0, and from that point, I'll be honest, it was lights out, bro. The moment Arsenal get the first goal in this kind of game, everyone should pack their bags and leave, and we'll speak about packing their bags and leaving later on in this video. 5 minutes later, Eze now gets his goal. 2-0. Looked like he held on to it a little bit long. You're there thinking release, release. He doesn't release until the last second. He bangs it and he scores. And of course, knee slide, does a celebration. And the reason why, of course, it is so, I guess, iconic, if you will, is the fact that, of course, all summer, the talk was about him going to Spurs, him going to Tottenham, right? He phoned Arteta last minute or whatever saying, yo, listen, I'm about to go to Spurs, but please, like, you man got any space there? You man got one more space for me? Obviously, Havertz got injured. They said, okay, you know what? Fine, come true. So, after all that, they were doing like, let it all work out. And then Spurs did their own version the next week when they signed Javi Simmons. Let it all work out, making it again about Arsenal. Eze gets the dagger 5 minutes before half time, and you're thinking, yep, that's it. Spurs, big respect. You might as well not come back out for the second half. What's funny, again, I don't know what Thomas Frank told them at halftime. I don't know if they had their AirPods in, they weren't listening, or if the stadium was too loud for once, the Emirates was rocking. I don't know what happened, but they didn't hear a damn word this guy said, because before the Spurs fans could even get back into the main stand from collecting their beers or whatever to drown their sorrows at halftime, they were sent back in again. You see on the TV that they are entering to come and sit down. Minute 46, they're leaving the stadium. They say, you know what? Enough is enough, because Eze scores again to make it a brace. And bro, left foot, right foot. This guy was having some delightful finishes. And obviously he done a celebration this time, not the cross. This time he done a little laughing at Tottenham, just like he did against Tottenham the last time he scored against them last season. I'm not even going to do for those of us who remember, because I got a better one. This one is more like, do you guys remember Dennis Bergkamp away Southampton in the yellow kit, 1997, for those of us who do remember that one, where he scores a banger, runs to the corner flag, just like Eze done today, and does, like, he can't believe that he's that cold for Bergkamp to be doing that. So that was a nice little callback there. Richarlison out of nowhere bangs it. I say, hey, what's going on there then? From like 45 yards. The thing with Richarlison, yeah, listen, I'm someone that I like his character in it. As a footballer, he either gives you a 10 out of 10 or 0. And this one, you could argue, was a 0 out of 10, but he left with a 10 out of 10 goal. I don't know how this guy didn't even get booked in the game, let alone, you know, sent off for the amount of fighting he was doing. I couldn't believe it, but like I said, Arsenal never really in doubt. I think for like 10 minutes afterwards, it was a little bit like, whoa, that's how football can change. Spurs didn't have a single shot until this goal. They scored that, and suddenly it's like, oh, hold on a minute. Maybe we can play football. Maybe we can try and take this game to Arsenal a little bit. And then they got shut down by Eze making it a hat-trick on Xavi Simons' head. Ooh, can you imagine that? Your Xavi Simons is there posting photos alongside the Ledley King mural and whatnot. Posting is the king with the retro shirt and that. Just for Eze to go and bag a hat-trick. Damn. Yeah, it's dark. I can't lie, it's dark. But listen, I did tell you guys in the YouTube video, I can feel it in my bones. Eze has something in store. The storyline is far too scripted. We knew Eze was going to do something crazy today. So if that prediction, you know, if you rate that one, leave a like on the video. As per usual, by the way, of course, the more likes, the more subs, the merrier. We are on the road to 55k, slowly but surely. If you appreciate me doing these daily videos, the predictions every weekend, I would appreciate it. The more likes, the merrier. As always, we try to aim for like a 1k, right? So pause the video, scroll down a little bit, check if it's on 1k. If it's not, press a little thumbs up for me. It'll be much, much appreciated. I can keep on doing these daily. But anyway, like I said, Eze makes it 4. And to add to the irony as well, of course, it is against the team that they spent, you know, the interview. Thomas Frank is there saying, Eze, who's that? Who's that? You go and get a hat-trick on your head. It's quite embarrassing. In terms of individual players, of course, Eze is going to be man of the match. Special shout out to Piero Hincapié. I think he was phenomenal. A lot of talk about Gabriel missing, and rightly so. That's an impact hugely in both boxes. He was exceptional, phenomenal. Defensively, won every duel, every battle. He showed the same passion that Gabriel does, but his passing as well. I said, whoa. Have Arsenal just done it again? Like Mosquera. To be fair, Hincapié was more known, so it's not like what a surprise that is. But, you know, your first Emirates start in the league to be in a North London derby, fair play to him. Obviously, Timber, I've run out of words. You know, I say his hips don't lie like Shakira. They start saying pause. What are you talking about? He's too strong, bro. This guy, before the games, I'm sure he goes to the supermarket. He buys the raw yam that's waiting outside with the fruit, and he starts chewing, bro. He doesn't go and like cook it or boil it or fry it, microwave. Just a log of yam, like starts chomping it, bro. What kind of strength is this? Declan Rice, phenomenal as per again. Saka, to be fair, I got that one wrong. I thought Saka would play a massive part in this. It was probably his quietest North London derby. Normally he scores or gets an assist or something. A lot quieter today. On the Spurs end, I mean, listen, everyone was kind of cheeks. Let's be honest about it. Kudus went to this stadium last season, dunked on them, got nothing out of Calafiori. Spence, I'm sure they're going to talk about him posting his, you know, penitentiary or whatever. The only person at the end of this game posting penitentiary Instagrams is Gabriel Magalhaes, who posted with an Eze shirt and put on the with the bird music to mock, obviously, his international teammate and rival Richarlison. But yeah, all in all, embarrassing from Spurs, I'll be honest. I thought 2-1, but 4-1 means that, of course, now the table looks quite nice for Arsenal fans. Obviously, Chelsea coming next in the league, so that could be either the game that brings the title race back, or, I'll be honest with you, man, you can start thinking about a parade. Now, we go over to, I'll do Italy first, I think, then we'll get to Madrid. Let's go to Madrid first, because that's more of a shocking result. And a shocking result that, let's be honest, guys, completely deserved. Completely deserved. Elche, I told you guys before the game, they are incredible at home, right? So please do not think of it as like an easy, nice Madrid win. I thought they would win in the end, of course, you know, having to put up with a lot of damage from Elche. But what we saw was, you just got to say fair play. And there is one person I think I will blame. Not blame. Look, it wasn't a great Madrid performance. Elche, like I said, they deserved, you could argue, maybe on the balance of play, perhaps even 3 points. But in the end, they got their first goal, and I think it was great play, a little back heel, but Courtois there, I said, I don't really like what you've done there, Thibaut, mate. I'm not sure I can really respect that one. Now, you could say fair enough, listen, he's probably the best keeper in the world, him and Alisson, everyone has their mistakes, no problem. Madrid fight their way back in. Dean Huijsen, Bellingham was fighting away, he got the assist for this one, they pick the ball, they run, you're thinking, okay, we've seen this before, Madrid now go and, get the win. No. Another former Real Madrid player crashes it on their head, and this time, look, if you want to say the first one is not really on Courtois, this one, guys, I'll be honest, he has to do much better. 2-1 Elche, 6 minutes ago. For some reason, I don't know what it's about Real Madrid. They're never really out the game. You always feel like at some point they're going to cook something. Now, granted, Rodrigo was absolutely shocking once again. His loser mentality is starting to affect his performances. And I'm getting to the point now where it's like, at what point do we say, yo, you can't live off, Champions League great form 2 or 3 years ago when they had the little orange bit on their kit. At some point, you have to pattern up. In the end, Bellingham gets the equalizer, and at that point, yet again, I thought, okay, here is where now they go on to win it. But Gonzalo Garcia came on millimeters away. I say millimeters, he connected with the ball, but like he was having to outstretch to try and reach it. So in the end, he didn't quite get there. They drew 2-2. Obviously a red card to Elche, but again, deserved. He was on a yellow already. He tried to drag back Mbappe for like 10 meters. It's the most stonewall second yellow ever, so can't really cry there. As for the players, I mean, Trent was okay. Mbappe missed a few chances first half as well. All in all, I think 2-2 is a fair result, man, honestly. If anyone would have won it, maybe Elche, but yeah, that was definitely a surprise because it means now the table, Barca are only 1 point behind Real Madrid, so anything can happen, bros. And of course, the more predictable game in La Liga, shall we say. I'm not going to cover it in depth, but El Terrorismico, Getafe and Bordelas against Atleti was only ever going to end 1-0. And to be fair, Atleti are not necessarily Terrorismo anymore, but that is like the heritage Terrorismo battle. So big up to Atleti for getting their win. And the last game we've got to cover, Internazionale against Milan. Milan have patted their heads like little boys for the last couple years. Every game is just patting them on their head. And it was no different today in the final score anyway, because the match itself, you could argue Inter had enough chances to be clear ahead in the first half. Now, I said, of course, it will be a draw and that Lautaro is finally going to show up in a big game. My bad. I forgot that it's Lautaro we're talking about. Apologies. If it's not Cagliari, Salernitana, Spal, Cremonese, he's not going to show up. He's going to just miss chances and miss chances and miss chances. And eventually, those missed chances came back to bite them because in the second half, Christian Pulisic, LeBron James of soccer, Premier League, he gets the goal. It's well, to be fair, Summer parries it out to him, open goal. Then he gets the goal, 1-0. And from that point, again, Inter, they had chances. Bonny came on, he's booting it over the bar. Thuram is messing up. Lautaro's messing up. Barella, by the way, guys, can we be honest again? Stop just gassing up names because they're names that, you know, they're supposed to be good and you assume that they're good because they play for Inter and they might win the trophy here and there. This guy has been meaty for how many months now? When is the last time Barella put together 2 good games in a row? That's what I'm asking for. 2 good games in a row. This is abhorrent behavior from him. I'm sorry, man. Çalhanoğlu, as per usual, in the lot again. 2 years ago, what a 6. Incredible, right? Playing a lot deeper, class. In the last year, if he's not spamming a random, you know, free kick or penalty or 20-yard long shot, he's not doing anything, bro. He's offering nothing. He gets his chance today with a penalty, hits it right at Mike Maignan, who, to be fair, saved everything that was put his way today. So big ups to him. Not really anyone else to shout out, to be honest. It wasn't like a beautiful game, I'll be real. It was quite a meaty game, but I just felt like we had to, you know, get onto a few of the Inter players because, like I said, I think that's 4-5 games without a win against Milan. I could be wrong, but the table looks like this because Roma went away Cremonese and got their win like I said they would. I'm not going to take big credit for that. I think that's you know, something that most guys could have said, but yeah, anything can happen here, guys. Top 5 separated by just 3 points. So let's see, next week how things unfold. Of course, Champions League is coming. So if you want the Champions League predictions, Tuesday afternoon, make sure you subscribe. We will be there. Appreciate you lot as always. Let me know if your team got 3 points this weekend. I'll see you tomorrow for the highlight stream on Twitch around 4:30 in a bit. Bosh.